We often come together and have conversations about things that truly take thought beyond where they have been before. But this one is especially satisfying today, not only because we've moved into some new places. Esther will so love listening back to this and finding all of the new pieces that she's wanting to highlight for you, but because it is established within so many of you a renewed interest in getting back to the basics of your vibrational frequency, sort of taking it out of your head and putting it more into your heart, so to speak, into the vibrational beingness. And because of the conversations that we've had, we know that you know that the grid will fill in with the details of life that you describe as meaningful physical reality. There's no separating non-physical from physical. And we've all come so far. You are out here on the leading edge, and that's the part that we think you got with greater clarity here today. That creation is happening here, and that Source is joining you here, and that this is where the party really is, and that there are times when you allow a full recognition of the bliss and beauty and perfection of you and of life, and there are times that you don't. And we think that if we were standing in your physical shoes, we would be reveling in this new knowledge. Until, before you know it, these things will happen to you. First, you'll be having way more fun and you'll be feeling way better more of the time. And next, you will begin to accept the rightness of your place in the universe. You'll just feel adored. You will begin to feel the worthiness that you have been longing for in such amplified fashion, because when you establish a grid that feels good, only things that feel good to you can come to you. And you'll start using words, if you don't know about what we teach, you would use words like lucky. Oh, that was really lucky. That was really a really lucky thing that happened. And of course, there is never any luck involved unless you want to call luck law of attraction's response to the vibration that you're offering and subsequent bringing to you the things that match it. We'll go with you if you'll go there with us. In other words, that's as lucky as it gets. I am fortunate enough to know about law of attraction, and fortunate enough to be wise enough to be aware of how I feel, and fortunate enough to really care about how I feel, and fortunate enough to be willing to pay attention to the way I feel, that I will focus myself into an emotional general grid of happy thoughts, and in doing so, other things that match that will come to me with such detail and such specifics that I will then understand the power of the universe that I have held in my hands every day that I've been here, that now I am applying with deliberate intent. It is so much fun to be in this knowing place where the universe is responding to you and you know why. You know why. It's because of how I'm feeling. It's because of how I'm focusing. It's because of the vibration that I'm offering. So now as you move through your day, this is all happening whether you know that it is or not. So you have two choices. You can do it deliberately or you can do it by default. And the way you do it by default is by observing what's going on around you and just responding to what you're observing. We call it sloppy thinking or sloppy observing, or the squeaky wheel syndrome, where the squeaky wheel gets your attention and it never feels good when you look there. And that squeaky wheel stuff will cause you to establish a vibrational grid that will fill in with louder squeaks until you become genius oil canners. Humans often measure their talents by how good they are at putting out brush fires. And we want to zap you with the desire to work with the laws of the universe instead of against them. Work with them. As you understand that your emotions are your friend and that there is so much good that wants you, Jerry said to Esther the other day, and she heard him laughing so hard while he said it. She was asking him a business question, something specifically about something that she was wondering what to do about. And his words to her were, well, if I was standing in my physical shoes. And then she realized that he can stand all day if he wants to in her physical shoes, although she rarely does herself. In other words, there need be no separation from you and you. So as you are moving forward in the days that are before you, it is our desire that you pay attention, make the conscious correlation between the new things that are happening and the understanding that came over you here today. Because it is certain that your grid will fill in with things that are unique enough that you will recognize that they are happening because of what happened here. You see what we're getting at? And when you make that correlation, then we think that you'll deliberately go to work on your grid and then let the good times roll. Because there is nothing more exhilarating than for you to define something that you want by being aware of its absence. Recognize that its absence has caused an emotion within you that is the conjuring of a grid that isn't going to serve you, and then deliberately changing the vantage point, the vibrational vantage point at the basis, and doing it with such ease that it just is amazing to you that you hadn't thought of it sooner. And then to watch the precision with which the universe will proceed to deliver to you matching components to fill that in. And we promise you we will be there reveling with you in your conscious awareness that you created the basis and now the universe has cooperated. Your feeling of worthiness and your feeling of empowerment will come in proportion to the amount of emotional grids that you care to build. If we were standing in your physical shoes, and we often are, we would be making lists of positive aspects, and we would be reveling in the general perfection of your planet. We would awaken in the morning and speak our appreciation for the sun coming up, whether you can see it or not. We would acknowledge the perfection of your planet spinning in its orbit, whether you can see any other planets at that moment or not. We would feel appreciation for the intelligence of our physical body and for what the cells are doing, for what they know how to do. We would feel appreciation for the bed upon which we had slept and the pillow beneath our head. And we would bask in the deliciousness of the coverings upon our body. And we would acknowledge at the beginning of every day, this is a good day. I have such a good basis from which to begin. All is well with me. Source energy is aware of me and has my back. And everything that matters to me is known, and all things are lined up. And I'm on an eternal treasure hunt of treasures, because the universe knows what I seek and knows where those treasures are, and is pointing me on the path of least resistance to the adventure and the fun and the thrill that I have defined as my desire. It is so delicious to create with you. It is so fun to walk on your beaches and sleep in your beds and eat at your table and revel in your expansion, when all along what you were seeking was your natural and well-deserved joy. So you know that you create your own reality, yes? You know that you create your own reality, yes?
Yes.
We want you to know by the time you leave this gathering today, unequivocally, that you create your own reality. We want you to know, we want you to remember that you are extensions of source energy. We want you to remember that before you came forth into this physical body, you were source energy consciousness. And even though you're in this body, still that point of view remains. That non-physical, pure positive energy, always up to speed with the furthest of that which we have all become version of you, exists. And when you tune to the frequency of who you really are, you feel really, 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 really good in the moment. You know those moments of clarity, insight? That's what that is. You know those moments of jubilance, those moments of exhilaration, that feeling of exhilaration that flows through you often. Those moments are the moments when somehow, some way, you've managed to focus in a way where you've stopped doing that thing you do, which holds you back from all that you are. And that's sort of a screwy way of explaining it to you, isn't it? When you no longer do that thing you do, then you'll be able to do that thing you really want to do, that thing you were doing before you came into this physical body, that thing you were born to do, that thing you always want to do. You want to do that thing you do, but you've got to stop doing that thing you do in order to do that thing you do. And the thing that we want you to no longer do, which sounds backwards and not really Abraham-like, that thing we want you to no longer do is to stop doing that thing that you do, which is fussing and worrying about things that you can't do anything about. We want you to give up control of the uncontrollable. And we would like you to accept that everything is uncontrollable when you are talking about manifestation. Those manifestations are uncontrollable to you because they are controlled by law of attraction. So when you decide that you're going to control circumstances and events, when you decide you're going to control your government or control anyone, oh, there's lots popping up on that one. When you decide that you're no longer going to try to control your children or your lover or your mother, your mother. When you decide that you're no longer going to control the government or TSA, especially them. Esther was getting a really friendly pat down yesterday. She knows exactly how it got activated, too. She has a new line. She thinks she can head it off. She's going to say from now on, just as it's about to begin, I've been really lonely lately. I'm so looking forward to this. When you decide that you're going to stop trying to control the uncontrollable, and instead you begin to control the thing, the one thing, the certain thing, the important thing, the only thing that matters, when you decide that you're going to control the way you feel, when you believe that in order to achieve a certain feeling, that you have to control a circumstance so that you can then have a feeling response to it, now you're in trouble because there are too many moving parts. But when you decide that you're going to control the only thing that matters and something that you absolutely can control, and that is the way you feel, when you decide that you're going to achieve emotional clarity, that you're going to reach for emotional manifestations. Now, we deliberately use the word manifestation because an emotion is a manifestation. And when you think about it, isn't everything you want because you think you will feel better in the having of it? Whether it's a material object or a relationship, whether it's the modifying or the molding of a circumstance and event, isn't everything that you want because you believe that in the having of it, that you will feel better? We know it's a big jump, but just stay with us today as we continue to reach for it with you. If you can accept that you have the ability within 5 or 10 minutes, faster often, but within 5 or 10 minutes, 10 at the outside, within 5 or 10 minutes, you can bring yourself to an emotional state of being that feels good to you. There is great love here for you. And as always, we remain stubbornly in the vortex. Very good day. Really good day. Yeah.